night out. Ain't drunk.
Now? You feeling better?
Feeling a lot better.
All right.
Now we could. Now we.
Are you ready? Welcome to another episode of Awkd Silence. Ecstasy.
Johnny Doe.
Yo, Young Greed.
Oh.
Right here, Young Greed. Then it's Johnny Doe.
This is a hater.
Oh wait,
you see?
we got to go that way, John.
Oh, we're doing the circle.
The circle,
I don't know.
the
Y'all got a weird ass setup now.
Man, we practice this like 50 times.
And now when we get professionals in here, we want to fuck up. Y'all want to fuck up with
Hey,
the
we don't
professionals in
forget.
here. Today we have I don't want to say special guest because I'm hurt. But we could call him a special guest, I guess.
Alex has a grudge.
We have a grudge still.
Oh man, here we
Where-
go.
and you know what? I think I speak for everybody.
You probably do, man.
I haven't introduced you yet because my new thing is when people are going to click the link in the bio,
know
they
who it
should
is.
know who they are. But we have Ian Paola, right?
Paola.
Paola?
If you say it in Spanish, it's Paola. Yeah,
Yeah,
Paola.
I say it in Spanish. I thought you're Spanish, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're from.
Dominican,
Oh.
a little bit Italian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but born and raised pretty much Dominican.
Oh, check that out. See, fun facts you don't
We
know.
met somebody yesterday that was Italian.
Who?
Your cousin. She was like, she's half Italian.
Oh.
But she black as fuck.
Yeah. But I feel like when you're half Italian,
She's not Italian, but she's black
when
as
you're
fuck.
half Italian, half Spanish, like aren't you just Spanish? Basically?
Pretty much.
Pretty
Right?
much.
Like,
Pretty
you
much.
more you correlate more than.
Unless
Yo,
you're Sicilian.
Ian, you're from Corona?
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Look at that, son. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
we're
I
watching
hear.
somebody we hate on TV so much, and I don't even know he grew up around us. That's just dope. Yo, how much hate do you get off of
A lot.
what
man,
you
a
did
lot.
this season?
I mean, social media when it first went down, it was just crazy, man. I mean, the fans were like, "F you, we hate you." You know, it was crazy. Even it's
Meanwhile, he's seeing pictures at Disney World. They're like, "Fuck you, hate you." What the fuck's going
Word,
on?
it's crazy. I mean, it got so crazy that even the creative power, Courtney, she had to like chime in and she's like, she made a post like, "Yo, it's just a TV show. Y'all gotta chill." You know what I mean?
We do got to chill. I'm not gonna lie, but I be one of them.
Fans
I
be
one of
taking
them.
it to another level though. It's crazy.
It's
It's
like,
like,
yo, we fall in love with the characters and everything. Like we know them.
But it's crazy how people got the interaction though with the characters. Like on the show, a lot of people just, some people just watch the show just to be in the moment. But a lot of people really watch it. You get used to these characters. So when they kill your favorite character, you hate.
And for
You
the
know?
slow listeners out there, this is the man who killed Julio. Well, that set Julio up. He didn't kill him. He set him up, though, right?
No, I killed Julio.
Oh, you did kill
Dre
him?
set him up. Yeah, the
Wait, I
character
thought
Dre.
somebody else came from behind. I gotta go see that scene
You
again.
gotta rewatch-
Oh,
rewatch
okay.
it.
Now
It
I
was
just
him
don't
and Dre,
Cut the
yeah,
tattoo
Dre,
off
yeah,
his neck and all that.
Oh, that's right. Now I gotta hate you again. Now he just brought back the feeling
I
again.
added some extra details.
Yeah,
just in
Alice
case
is,
you forgot.
Alice is
I
a-
could have thought like somehow, some way that like episode faded away, and it was like I thought somebody came from behind and killed him. Oh, that's right. You peeled off the 718.
Alex
from-
is that neighbor. He's gonna
Yeah.
call the cops. Like, I would like to report a murder. I have him right now. He's like,
Yeah, he's right here, right now.
He's right here, right now.
Got him. And you're no longer in Corona, or
Nah, I moved out like 2-3 years ago. I mean, I'm in Brooklyn now.
okay? What part of Brooklyn?
Dyker Heights.
Oh, this man is getting money. This man is getting.
No, I feel like
Power is paying money.
every actor like, that becomes, they move to Brooklyn. But a lot of people in
It's
Brooklyn.
funny you say that. Yeah, a lot of them
people in
moved to Brooklyn,
A
but
lot of-
especially with like Williamsburg.
Yeah,
though. They'll be
yeah.
out there.
You'd
I
be
can't do
surprised,
that.
yeah.
It's,
No,
like,
no,
it's
Williams-
too much like Manhattan.
Yeah,
you know?
Williamsburg, right? But
it's
Dyker Heights is. I mean,
it's
right now
quiet,
y'all
it's
got
quiet.
y'all get tourists right around this time, right?
Yeah,
All
the
these
Christmas lights and all
That's
that.
right. I'll be there
that's
next
gotta
week
be annoying.
with my girlfriend holding hands, like cute couples.
I got a friend that lives out here.
I just took her to Jones Beach. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say that too, right? I'm like, my boy Ian lives around here. Yo, yeah. I was just start acting like I know shit. And yeah, you say you know my cousin JS too?
JS, man, yeah, me and JS go back, man, when he had that recording studio in his garage on 102, man.
There you go.
And he actually inspired me to do music, you know what I'm saying? I used to go to him when I was like 11 years old, and I was inspired to be a rapper at the time before, I started doing music. And he brought me in there, we was always trying to work together. So yeah, shout out to your cousin, man.
There you
Shout
go.
out
I
to
feel
JS.
like JS is like a one-man band. Dude, the shirts,
Everything,
prints, like he
bro,
had a
everything.
studio.
Always
Next
been
thing
on
you know,
the
he's
hustle,
a cameraman,
bro.
porn star.
He aight.
Man, the one-man
Yeah, I was
band.
looking at your IMDb and it said you used to do music.
Yeah,
Like,
man, pretty much all my life since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? My father, we grew up like, you know, my father was in the merengue band from the 80s. Yeah, so I grew up seeing my father on TV. You know, I got a bunch of his records at home. So musically, I was inspired from, you know, a young age to do that stuff. So I've been doing that up until I started acting. And then once I started acting, I just dropped all that shit.
Yeah, right. The acting is way better. I feel like you know how we said like rappers want to be actors and then actors want to be rappers. Like, but I feel like acting is just the top shit. Like once you are acting, like everybody's goal was like to act. Like even the rappers, like 50, all of them.
Well, because acting is like one thing. You don't got to go on tour. You don't got to hit the road. You don't got to do so much shit. You just act. The product comes out. You promote it, and then you have downtime. Rappers, you got to
Continue.
look for. It's the same. I mean, it's the same thing because you got to look for roles. Because roles.
Acting, in my opinion, you know, doing both, acting is more work. Like you go to the studio, you pop a bottle of Henny, you recording, you chilling, you know what I mean? Acting is work, man. You show up, you on set 12, 15 hours, you know what I mean? It's not like you can just go out and, you know, hit a spot and come back.
I didn't know that. See, I thought it was.
Nah, it's work. It's
So
work for sure.
what if it, like you fuck up a line? Like you got to be that guy. Like damn, we got to do this shit again.
Cut.
I
Do
mean,
it
it
over.
happens, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
happens all
imagine
the
making a
time.
Michael Bay movie where everything's blowing up and somebody fucks up.
Nah, then you really fucking up. You're costing the money.
Bring
Put
the car back.
This guy, we got to.
Have you like fucked up like scenes like that?
Yeah.
Non-stop, like everybody's like, this nigga, man.
Everybody, it happens to everybody. It happens to the best of them. But I try to not to be that dude that's gonna fuck up that scene. You know what I mean? Especially when there's a lot of professionals in the room and a lot of bigger names. I'm like, I ain't gonna be the one fucking the shit up today. You know what I mean?
So how you prep for that? Like how you hype yourself up? You look yourself in the mirror this morning.
Does that shit really exist? Does that shit really
that-
exist?
that's
Because I
what
see like
everybody
movies
says.
that they'll be like, I gotta act into the mirror, but does that really exist?
Nah, I in my experience, nah. I mean, that's not what I do. You know what I mean? That might be somebody else's technique, but that's not what I do. I mean, for me, it's just like a switch. Like I already know I set myself up. I know what I'm gonna do. I show up to set, and you know, once the camera goes on, it's on, and then once it goes off, you know, I'm
From
done.
what I see, your characters are not friendly.
Nah, man.
This nigga has
always-
yet to play the father
Nah,
at
I
a church
did.
or
I
something
did.
like.
To my credit, I played a cop on an NBC show,
Oh, did
and
you?
I was excited about that. Yeah, 'cause I'm always,
He's a good
I'm
guy.
always a bad dude. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Turns out, plot twist at the end, he's a corrupted cop. You can't catch a break.
Yeah. I'm mostly known for doing some violent
Thug
kind of
shit,
characters.
Got that thug in you.
I guess, man.
So you're never going back to music, or?
Nah, I got no intentions, man. Like people still hit me up, you know, from the music world. They was like, "Yo, what's up? Want to work on the soundtrack and stuff?" I'm like, "Nah." But speaking of music, I just got approached by a longtime friend who works for this company, and they're coming up with some kind of idea for the show that I might run with. They're looking for a host, and they're trying to pitch it to a few networks. But it's, you know, it involves music. It's about like digging in the crates. You know what I mean? Like producers that dig in the crates and still sampling and stuff like that. So I still have love for music. You know what I mean? I just never do it, but that's definitely something I look into.
That shit sounds like a dope show, a dope concept.
Yeah.
It's different going back to like actually sampling records, digging to the greats, like he says. Now everybody just got a laptop. They buy
A laptop and a little
$1,200, and that's it. That's your producing kit.
Yeah.
Now let's take it back. What had you going into acting? Like, because I mean, we're from Corona. I don't know, but yeah, you're from Corona.
Basically, it's like you from Corona. You don't. It's either you're an athlete or you selling drugs.
And then rapping.
I was one of them.
Rapping.
Yeah, so
wasn't-
how
it
is
wasn't an
how is
athlete.
it like? What did like? At one point, what did change that? Like, yo, I want to get into this acting. Like, yo, I'm gonna leave the music behind. Or
Nah, I never
What
had
did it
any
change?
intentions of leaving music. It was just I was online. I was actually on Craigslist, and I was just looking around, and you know, sometimes you try to make ends meet, and just you know, I used to hustling, man, just trying to look for handyman, whatever. And I seen an ad that says looking for people to be an extra in the movie. So I was like, all right, let me see what movie, you know. So I hit them up, and they were like, yeah, just show up on this day. I was like, wow, I'm gonna be in the movie, and the movie was actually Tower Heist.
Oh,
Yeah, with Ben Stiller and all. And they were recreating the Macy's Day Parade.
Okay.
So here I am thinking I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna be on camera and all that, and I was just partaking in the crowd of the parade. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like 100, 300 people there. But you know, while being there, I was mesmerized by everything going on. I'd seen the whole production. I was like, yo, I want to do this, but I want to be in front of the camera. And I didn't know left from right when it comes to that world. I just started grinding, man. I just started asking questions to everybody. I started taking lessons. Actually, I was just telling JC, I just started selling my music equipment. I was like, yo, I want to start taking lessons. You know what I mean? I immediately dropped the music, bro. And I just put my 100% attention into focus, into acting, yeah.
So that was like around 09, 08? When that came
I was
out?
like
08, 09?
Well, they shot it. It was shooting in 2010. I think it dropped in.
I remember they shut down.
I remember
I
the
was trying to
movie.
go to the food court in the mall, and they shut it down because they said no, they're shooting something down there.
Oh, yeah, they
and then
the
it
scene
turns
where
out
that's where they moved. Yeah.
And they used my homegirl Ileana. She was working at the time in Swarovski where they stole the things from one of the scenes.
yeah.
So they had to shut her store down too.
Oh man.
But y'all be shutting down so much shit. Like,
Yeah,
God
they
damn.
locked down a lot of stuff.
You ever drive by Manhattan and see those damn trailers outside?
Yeah,
It's like 10 blocks worth of trailers only to shoot
Maybe
like in
not
a
the
bodega.
street, they block you. Like, oh, you can't walk this way. You got to walk around, and you're like,
Yeah.
But it's crazy watching it because it's like life within life. Like, it's crazy how acting is. Like, you see them acting, but then it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like,
Yeah. Like you gotta act like a thug if you are a thug.
Yeah,
Like, how am I
exactly,
gotta act
exactly.
like
It's
what
like-
I am? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like acting within life. It's weird. It's just like watching it from the outside in.
now
Yeah.
you're also in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, I seen the first season. Now this is a long time ago, but Jonathan said you didn't have no words in the first couple of scenes you were in.
I wasn't in the first season. I was in the second season.
Oh.
Like that's when they introduced.
Yeah, but you said that he had no words.
Nah, he just like he was standing there. It's
You
weird.
were
It's like-
standing
Well, I wouldn't
he's
say
like
they had no
nodding.
words. Yeah, he was
He's
like, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
He
Oh,
was
Basically.
I was like,
Yeah,
wait, I
nah.
seen the scene he's in, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he spoke.
like-
Nah, the
that.
character actually really doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Like if you see him from the beginning, like he's not really big on talking at all. You know what I mean? And later on that season, Maria, who's played by Jessica, she tries to like convince me to like talk to the baby because I ain't talking at all. She was like, the baby gonna grow up without not talking. So at the end, you kind of see him like open up to the baby.
Yeah, finally. He's like, it's okay.
yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
thug
yeah.
on that show as well.
Of course.
Got tattoos. At least he got tattoos.
I'm
on
a
that
cholo.
show.
I don't know if it's established if he's Mexican. We're
Yeah, I'm
assuming,
confused. Yeah.
he's from Texas though.
Yeah,
We know
yeah.
that. So
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm like, what?
What nationality?
What that show?
'Cause that's
It's like you see Narcos season 3 when they go to Uptown
Nah.
and it's like they got Mexican playing Dominicans. You're like, dude, I know that's fucking Gabriel Iglesias.
yeah, sometimes they cast it wrong. Man.
He's like, hello, K, man. Like, dude, like, come on, get the storyline correct.
Sometimes they don't care if you're Dominican or not. They just
He's like, oh, yeah,
he looks like it. Let's just throw him in
yeah,
there.
right. He's like, yeah, he's got to be one of those Mexicans or Puerto Ricans.
That gotta be dope though. They shoot it here.
They shoot that in Queens in Astoria.
Orange is
Yeah, Kaufman Studios, and then when they do the interior prison scenes, they shoot it up in Rochester. It was like it used to be a psychiatric ward for kids.
Oh yeah, I snuck into that
Yeah,
shit
it's
one
like a
time.
band, and they're using
I know that's not. That's damn, I
like
forgot the name of
Rochester
it.
or something. I don't know what is that. Somewhere up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's like 2 scenes. Basically. Well, they have to like flip from here, drive up to there, and shoot the next episode.
Thing cut off.
Oh, you want to hear yourself?
Oh no,
Stafford?
I thought it was cut off.
You just want to hear.
You don't know.
I didn't think it was cut off.
Me too. Once he goes out, you're like, wait a minute, it went dead quiet. Like, yo,
Jonathan
hold
just
up.
wants to hear himself on the headphones to make sure he sounds good and shit. So, going back now, according to your Instagram, you got a new movie coming out as well, or is it a show?
Yeah. No, it's a film. It's a film called Release. It's written, directed by Adel Morales. He's a dope dude. He's been doing like short films for the last few years. He finally graduated from NYU, and in that process, he actually won an award. Spike Lee teaches there, so Spike Lee has some award going on, and Spike Lee read the script, and he hit him with a financial grant, so he allowed him to make this movie happen. And the film Release is pretty much based around my character, of course, another bad dude.
I was looking at the pictures and I see him with a red eye, and I'm like, I wonder what character he gonna play.
Yeah. He just comes home from doing 20 years in prison, and he comes to meet his daughter for the first time. At this point she's 21 years old. She has a 2-year-old son. He reconnects with his mom. His mom is ill. You know what I mean? She's almost dying, and he suffers from PTSD. You know what I mean? So he has a drug addiction too, and through the film he starts falling for his daughter, and his daughter starts falling for him. So it involves GSA, genetic sexual attraction. Yeah. So the movie's gonna be pretty
That'll be
dope.
different. I wonder how people
You
accept
don't
it.
get disturbed playing these roles.
Nah, man, it's all business, man. Yeah, it's all business.
How do you? Have you been locked up?
I have, yeah.
All right, so then you get an idea of how to play these characters. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, how do you play like a role you haven't been in?
Well, I mean, life experiences, man, plays a lot into it. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been through a lot in life, it helps. You know what I mean? If you've never been in prison, I mean, a lot of actors never fit, per se, been in these situations. But if you do the research and like you connect, like for this film particularly, I got with a few friends. Like, I never been in prison. I've been in jail. I've been in Rikers Island a few days or like a few months. But I'm actually reconnected with a lot of my boys that were upstate for years, just to get that mentality. You know what I mean? Like, when you come home, how are you? How you react to the streets? You know what I mean? People doing that much time, man. Yeah, they messed up. Some people need help crossing the street.
Yeah.
I heard all kinds of
It's
stories.
like you lose time once you're locked up that long.
Remember that shit?
Yeah. So I did a lot of research. I kicked it with my boys just to get a mindset of what's it like, coming home from doing all this time and stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely helps.
Is this an independent film or?
Yeah, it's an indie film. It's independently funded. The plan is to get into the film festivals and just let it build up awards and
I'd
get
rather
distribution.
watch indie movies now. Like, Netflix is doing a lot of like.
Oh, yeah.
Indie. I love that. I like it more. It's some of it like that type of like what he said, like he falls for the daughter. That's what Netflix be having movies like that, like shit that you think about, like versus these big movies, like everything's blowing up in the scenes, and I don't like that. I'd rather indie movies.
I mean, it doesn't even really matter about the budget. It's about the story, man. And sometimes you don't really, like upcoming directors, like Adele, for example, they don't have the budget to do it. You know what I mean? But so they write to pertaining to the budget that they have. You know what I mean? Like, if he knew he had $1 million, there'll be car accidents, be shootouts and shit blowing up.
Get all that effects and
But
shit.
the story itself, you don't need that much money to put this story together. You know what I mean? You just need a solid cast and that's a good story, and that's pretty much what this movie's about, man.
I want to see this. Is it coming out?
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, you guys you fairly younger. You guys familiar with Electric Company? That show that used to be on PBS?
Electric Company.
No, that's I think nah.
Nah.
I don't remember as a kid.
Yeah, well, one of the stars that was on that show. She grew up on that show. She's the one that plays my daughter. Her name is Priscilla Diaz.
Okay.
Yeah, so just look out for her. Yeah, she plays my daughter Ellie on there. So a lot of people seen her growing up, and now she's
It's
a
gonna
young
be weird.
adult.
It's gonna be like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah. Some people gonna be like,
Yeah.
Man, they gonna hate you. Every show and every movie you do.
that's the funny thing. We were having that discussion. I was like, people hated me on Orange. People hated me on Power. People hated me on another show. Now people gonna hate me for singing with my own daughter in this film. You know what I mean? But he's not a bad dude. He's not a bad dude
He's gonna be walking
because
through the street and you motherfucker.
the character Maverick, that's his name. Like, he feels bad about what happened. They were twisted. They were drinking Henny. One thing led to another. And she wants to keep this relationship going. And he's like, nah, this ain't right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that only happens once. It happens twice. And
That's gotta be a crazy storyline.
yeah, and it's crazy.
That's
And he's
gotta be-
battling a lot of shit. His mom is dying. He got this addiction. Now his relationship with his daughter.
Where's the mother of the daughter?
The mother of the daughter,
Yeah.
she's played. I don't know if y'all know La Bruja. She's a poet. She's a rapper. She does a lot of.
It rings a bell.
Yeah, La Bruja. Caridad de la Luz. She plays actually my ex-wife in the film. Yeah. At this point, when he comes home, she's already married to some other dude.
It's gonna be an interesting film.
It's crazy, yeah.
it's
Wait,
definitely-
what's the set date? Because I see you still filming, right?
No. Actually, we just finished, but there's 2 pickup days. So right now, Adele's still in the editing process, but we still got to shoot 2 more scenes. And of course, they're outside shots. So it's supposed to take place around October. We're gonna shoot the last scenes in January.
Yeah,
so
it
I
might
got a
be
hoodie on, so I'm gonna be
snowing.
freezing. I hate doing those outside
That's crazy.
shots.
Like, that's another thing is like the storylines. Like, how does it work? Like time wise, because here in New York, the weather changes.
Yeah.
So it's like if let's say if based in October, do you guys have to wait till the fall again?
Nah. As a matter of fact, the last scenes we shot for Orange of season 5 is supposed to be like early fall, like late summer.
Right.
And it was January, so you can imagine. I had shorts on, so every time we took a break, they run and they throw a coat over you. But dude, I got shorts on, and there was a baby involved. I felt bad for her, because we had to bundle her up.
Right.
But if you look real good, you're supposed to. Everybody's in t-shirts and shorts, but then this baby got a big blanket around her.
Okay.
So they could have used a doll, an American Beauty doll or something.
They
right.
don't wait, man. They'll shoot it.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So imagine that shit. Like, you got killed and there's snow outside. Then when he runs back outside to get his spit on.
Speaking of snow, we shot this thing last year for PBS where my character gets killed, and he lays on a mountain of snow, and it was a blizzard outside, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna sit on there? And they was like, well, we're gonna put an electric blanket like a heating blanket, like under the snow. I'm like, under the snow. It was, dude, I caught like a flu. And it was like for like a quick 3-minute scene, but I was out there for hours sitting on that snow, man.
Oh,
It
you
was
had to
crazy.
sit. Oh no.
Oh, I had to lay on that snow, yeah, man.
They
How
can't
does
just
that
do.
work? Is there any sick days like at work that you call out? Is there anything like that?
Nah,
or is
man,
it like,
nah.
Like, you fuck up the whole
There's
schedule,
a lot of
right?
sacrifice, man, that people put
Holy
in
shit.
physically too. You know what I mean? Like doing stunt work, even on Power. You know what I mean? Or other stuff. There's a lot of risks you take, and people get hurt.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know. Jr. that played Julio broke his hand when we did that scene. He broke his hand in pieces when we did that scene, that death scene in episode 6. And in episode 10, when I get killed, when Omari, the plays Ghost, of course, hits me with that gun, they had a rubber prop gun. But for that, there was one take, of course, that he had the real steel gun in his hand. And when he caught me for real. And I had a nice lump on my head.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna caught that nigga in the
So
block
if
room.
you look real good in the scene, you're going to see a lump on my hand. It looks like it's makeup, but it's actually when he caught me with the gun.
Catch that nigga in the locker room, like, yo, my man, we got something to talk about.
Nah, Omari was cool.
He's like, you hit me with the real one. I know.
Nah, he was like, when it happened, he was pissed off. He was like, fuck, you all right? Let's take a break. And you know me, I'm like, nah, let's keep going. But I was seeing stars and shit. Nah, let's keep going.
Nigga
But
really
he
into
was-
the acting.
Yeah, he was nice because he was like, yo, what you drink? And, you know, like regular conversation. And when I got back to my trailer, he had a bottle of Johnny Black waiting for me. You know what I mean? So I thought that was nice of him. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
It's a nice gesture.
we
A lot of-
previously had Big Kev. What's his real name?
Kevin Mason.
Kevin
Yeah,
Mason.
Kevin, that's my
Grimace,
dude.
Black
We
Grimace.
had Kevin Mason on the show, and he said Omari got him in trouble because
for a
he asked
picture.
for a picture, and I guess Omari was like, "What are you doing?"
It was
And that-
through a third party, I guess, told an assistant of somebody working, and they approached him like, yo, what are you
But then I
doing,
see a
fam?
picture
You
of
know?
him and Omari after like they killed him, and he has like the bullet hole in his head. They
I
took
guess,
a picture.
I guess
Nah,
it's,
look
a
at that. He
departing,
likes
it's a
him.
departing gift. It's like,
Well, Kev told me that story, and what happened is that was season 1, and he was pretty much almost like an extra at this point in the beginning. So Mari was like, "Yo, why is this dude asking me for pictures? This dude's a nobody. I'm never gonna see him again." He didn't know that he was gonna start recurring on the show.
So if you're a nobody, it's like, yo, don't even
Be
talk to these
careful.
people, dog.
Nah, I mean, because when you're working, you know what I mean. You focus on your lines, even though you're on a break. You want to prep for the next scene or the next take. And if you got somebody just chanting in your ear, you know what I mean. It's a distraction. A professional would know that, not to bother
Right.
this man with his craft.
Right.
But
Well, you
not to
know-
say
you
that
know-
Kevin's not a professional.
Nah, he is. He
But you
grew
know,
up, he grew
people
up.
get
He's
excited.
pretty
You know,
good.
you see somebody's TV star, you want to talk to them and stuff. But he was probably like, nah. He went to the assistant like, yo.
Are we gonna plug Kevin real quick? Catch him on Caroline's on Broadway, January 18th.
All right.
I didn't even know. I didn't
Yeah,
even know.
he does a lot of comedy
I'm
stand-up.
out
Stand-up
here
comedy.
January 18th. I'm out here.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Does a comedy.
We
show.
went to it the last time he did one.
We did.
did.
Went to that shit. Shout out to Kev. Now, what was I gonna ask you? Yeah, I was gonna ask him about. When you're on the show, and like when you chose this character to be this character, try out for him or what is it called? Audition to be that character.
Which character?
On Power. Did they like let you know you're dying soon or?
Nah, they don't. It's funny because when I that's my third time auditioning for that show, and when they gave me the size, which is like the script for the scene, they changed all the names. You don't know who you're talking about. Like they don't give you any details of what's going on because if you don't get the part, they don't want you running back and telling somebody what's going on for the new season. But they didn't. I had no idea. They just told me he was just a gang leader. And that was it. And it was like 5 lines. I had no idea the depth or what we were gonna do or anything. And I did it. I showed up. I did it. Like 2 days later, my agent called. I was like, "Yo, you on?" And then we did the first scene. I still didn't know what was gonna happen in the next episode until the table read. So right before every episode, all the cast and everybody gets together, has a table read. I couldn't make the second table read because I was working on Orange. So I didn't even know I was about to kill Julio until I showed up for stunt rehearsal. They was like, "Oh, by the way, you know what you're doing?" And I'm like, "Nah." They was like, "Oh, you're gonna kill Julio? You're gonna cut off his tattoo?" I was like, "What?"
Damn, Julio. That's like,
I'll be
Yeah,
mad how
yeah.
you
so
texting
he
people.
went
Like,
from not knowing to killing one of the main characters. It's
I'm
like-
saying.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I knew
It's
Julio was
crazy.
gonna die though. I know how the
But
show
you didn't
works.
know how.
I didn't know
You
how
didn't
though.
know how.
I didn't know how.
But
But
you
I knew
would
he had to
think
go.
He might not kill. Like, it's crazy.
I knew
because
he
he's
had to
one of
go.
the main guys.
I didn't think you were gonna go so fast. Like right after. that.
Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna go either.
I thought you was gonna be like that hated character next, like, cause you
Right,
know how
like
they always
Dre.
shift on
Like,
who to
yeah,
hate
like
next.
Dre.
So I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this guy's gonna be the
Imagine
guy
if
we
he
hate.
gets hate shit. Like, imagine Dre.
Oh yeah,
Dre.
forget
Like,
about
he
it.
must get attacked left and right.
I mean, the females love him, so they give him a
Yeah,
pass.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he knows
That's
how
true.
he
That's
knows how to
true.
shift it on
What's his
Instagram.
new thing on Instagram? Black
The
chocolate?
Nigerian, yeah.
The Nigerian chocolate.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hilarious.
Is that dope? Like, well, like being around all those people, like.
Yeah, man. And the funny thing is, especially in Power, they're all really humble dudes, man. Like nobody has any big egos. They all check them at the door. Everybody's just really, really down to earth, man. Everybody's just kicking it like we are right here. Yeah, really cool, man.
I mean, you ain't even get a sex scene before.
Before you die.
Before you die, like, they could have gave you one.
It would have been nice, you know what I mean? Because that would just up my stock, you know what I mean? But nah, it is what it is. I mean,
he's like, nah, they want to make him a thug. They like, nah, fam.
He ain't got time. He ain't got
like,
time
I'm trying
to
to cross over. Like,
I can see me at the table, like telling what's her name,
Courtney,
the creator, like, yo, you sure you don't want me to have sex? I mean, just one time, like, all right, just in case, you never know.
Yeah,
all the shit.
Until she puts the scene and Alex will freeze up and like,
Wait, now take me back to this indie film because I don't understand. I know the movie festival, the film festival.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like I hear about it, but I don't know exactly what it is. Is it really a festival where they're just giving movies, or?
Yeah, they pretty much they have like different events. They have like the short film joint where people just submit their short films, and then they have the full length feature films. And these are for upcoming. Mostly, a lot of these festivals are to bring these new directors and producers out. You know what I mean? And that's the only way people will get to see these projects. You know what I mean? Like Vin Diesel, a lot of people don't know he submitted a short film into one of these festivals. Steven Spielberg was in the crowd. And when he seen that, he put him in Saving Private Ryan. So this is how these things happen. You know what I mean?
right,
If you don't
he
got these
was in
connects,
That's right.
yeah. That's when I first seen him. But
That's right.
he might have done a few things before that. But that's when we all really got to see him.
Right.
And then he did Boiler Room, and then it was on after that.
Well, I think Boiler Room came before or after. I'm not sure. I think
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. It was around that time. It's like 99, 98.
I don't know, nigga from Fast and Furious and Triple X. Like,
He got that.
there goes that nigga.
Yeah, he got a lot of
But that's a way for a lot of people to see your work and to get picked up. So that's the idea behind this film as well. You know what I mean? Because we could easily try to like not put it in there and just like try to set up meetings with Netflix and stuff like that. But you wanna grab the attention of all these other people at the same time, and that's what festivals are for. Like Sundance, I was hearing that whatever film is submitted into Sundance and gets accepted, Netflix is already dropping $100,000 trying to buy it and put it on, on their stuff. Yeah.
Netflix is out here robbing everything.
Nah, Netflix is spending $6 billion a year on just original content. They killing it. I don't know if y'all got Netflix. I don't know if y'all got that email saying the price is going up.
Yeah,
That's why.
It went up. It went up. I saw it on the low.
They went from $9.99, they're going to $10.99.
It's only a matter of time before that's it.
But think about it. I mean, you're never gonna. You need it. Like, it's mad entertaining. There's mad shit I watched.
There's a lot of content on there. Yeah, it's
You
crazy.
could never go bored. There's so much shit on there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Seasons after seasons, nigga, just nonstop.
I think the Sundance is what, like February around there or something like that in Park City, Utah, right?
Yeah, we miss Sundance. We were trying to aim for the Tribeca Film Festival, which is ran by Robert De Niro. We're not gonna probably make that. So the plan is to hit it with the Cannes Festival in France.
Okay.
See what happens over there.
So you guys all go, like everybody involved in the film that you're submitting.
Yeah,
everyone goes.
I mean, if you're available and you could do it, yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try that shit.
Oh shit, we're gonna
But
fly to Cannes.
I seen you in a
South
short
of France.
film. I was watching a short film earlier, Blackout City.
Damn, he was thinking of the crazy.
Which, by the way, son, you've lost mad weight. I was like, am I looking at the right actor? Son?
That was early on in my career too. That's when I first started, and I actually dropped weight because of acting. You know what I mean? Like my whole life revolves around this craft. So my whole life is dedicated to this. So that's my dedication. I wanted to drop the weight and be more marketable. You know what I mean? Look better. So I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, that was nice and chunky.
I was watching that film like, this ain't the nigga that killed Julio.
I'm gonna try to get that off there. That's a bad look for me, man. That was early on.
It was dope. I just didn't get the ending. I was trying to understand it. I went back and watched it like twice. I was like, wait.
I didn't understand it, man.
Nah, you didn't? I didn't understand the ending. I was just like, wait, the cell phone rang. What that means? Like, you just...
Like, he just bounced, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think. He just bounced on her. I don't know.
I got it. I mean, because you know these short films, what they do is like they set it up for you got to start figuring out what's going on. So like the film I started watching, I was like, okay, maybe this is a blackout. Obviously, it's called Blackout, but
yeah, based on that blackout. That blackout was in like what 2003,
when the lights all. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm starting to understand it. Like, all right, so she's from the Bronx. She's feeling like this dude doesn't really, want to be a boyfriend, and she doesn't really want to have sex. So I'm like, this dude's gonna end up cheating or something. But then the film ends with like she just wakes up in the bed, he's not there, the phone rings, and I'm like, wait, what just happened?
It's an open mind. He could have got locked up. He got moved on to another
Well,
girl.
knowing the characters he's playing, he probably was on the run. Oh, no, wait, you walk in with a suit and tie in that one.
Yeah, had like a button down.
A button down, so never mind. He was playing a good character in that show.
Know?
Never knows.
He had to go to court,
He just came home from court.
Yeah, man.
What's next up? Like, what do you see yourself trying to do or get into? Because I think personally, Marvel is where it's at.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
get
yeah.
you
Marvel,
a superhero character.
The casting directors for Marvel been giving me a lot of love lately. I guess the right role hasn't come, but they're bringing me in for a lot of stuff. And Marvel, they're like real secretive when you do an audition for them. They change the names. You don't know what's going on. You got to sign contracts.
Right.
But yeah, I forgot the name of the casting director, but she's bringing me in for a lot of stuff. So you might see me on the Marvel joint.
What, son? What, nigga? You gonna be a superhero? Son?
That's the plan, man. You know what I
I'm
mean?
just so mad that they so far ahead already. Like that's it. It was like the Infinity Wars happened. It's like, yo, if I would have known, I would have started acting and be one of the characters. Like, yo, y'all sure y'all need me in the show.
Do a recurring role.
How is that?
for
Do
sure.
I need, like, me personally, like today I want to act. I just want to start acting and I want to get into a real big movie. Do I need to have like a resume or like a, or do they just allow people to walk in?
Unless you're like a cousin to one of the producers.
Or you have like 1 million followers on Instagram.
Well, not even that. I mean, you gotta have some kind of credibility besides just, just a big fan base on social media. I mean, if you're super popular, they might throw you in for like a cameo or
They
something.
did it with that dude that does comedy. He's doing a new movie. I see the previews. It's like in a high school.
Oh, that they're mad intelligent and shit?
Yeah.
They got mad Vine stuff, mad Vine
That they keep
celebrities
disappearing.
there. But I'm saying, like, so then I would need like a resume? Like a...
Yeah, in order for you to even get brought into an audition, it has to be through a professional source. You know what I mean? You can't, unless, once again, like you a cousin or producer or something, and they can get you in there, you're not gonna get in
Check
there.
that out. So then I got to start making YouTube movies and shit. Like,
You never know.
do those get
You
counted?
never know.
Are those accounted for? Like,
I mean, supposedly there's a rumor that Tommy Lee lied on his whole resume to get an audition, and he got the job. So I don't know.
And look where he's at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, nigga, look, if you look at Tower Heights, that's me in the crowd. That's
Just
me
look deep
acting
in
like
there.
I'm
I'm in
eating.
there. The dude with the hand in the air.
I'm acting like I'm eating a hot dog. That's me right there. You see the acting? You really think I'm into that shit, right?
He's playing a bunch of Awkd Silence clips and shit to them.
What other films have you been in?
I've been in a lot. I mean, I've been in a lot of stuff you guys will probably never see, man. And that's how I started in this game. You know what I mean? I did a lot of short films, a lot of student films. People would say, yo, it was a waste of time because no one's seeing it, but that actually helped me get the experience that I have now. I've done a lot of stuff, man, a lot of shorts, you know what I mean? A lot of short films, once again, that you'll never see. A few television credits here and there. I'm trying to get more into film now.
I see you being like that Spanish actor that like you know how
That breaks down.
you know how like everybody has like a certain role that it's like I knew it was gonna be played, but like I feel like we're gonna see a lot of him like
typecasting.
Yeah. I mean, I get brought in for a lot of violent shit, but I also get brought in for a lot of stuff that's not violent. Like, as a matter of fact, on the way over here, I was rehearsing lines in the car. I got an audition for the show in L.A., Young and the Restless. You know what I mean? The dude is not a... I mean, he's a Hispanic construction worker, but he's not a violent dude. You know what I mean?
I would call racism right on the spot when I see.
But
you want me to be the guy selling pastelitos?
If they need a Latino role, they're definitely gonna put a Latino in there.
yeah.
But
Can you please go try to play the Dominican roles
Word. At
like
least-
they're
at least
supposed
if
to
you
get
play
played?
Spanish role, play where you're supposed
on
to.
Power,
be.
Power, Uriel is Cuban. A lot of people don't know that.
Who?
Uriel, the character I play on Power, he's Cuban.
But
You know what's
but
funny?
The thing is, you could blend in. Like he could be Cuban, could be he.
The funny thing is,
But at least don't be like if you're like Mexican, like playing a Dominican is weird.
Matt Cedeno, who plays Cristobal, who's the one that introduced Dre to me on the show, he's Cuban playing a Dominican, and I'm a Dominican playing a Cuban.
These niggas got it
So
all
what's
fucked.
funny is we had a dialect coach. She was helping him, and I was helping him with the Dominican, and he was helping me with the Cuban dialect. It's bugged out.
Que hola, chico. That's all I would know.
Yeah,
how to
and
say
in
that.
release, I play a Puerto Rican, so one day, hopefully, I play the Dominican.
They don't want to know about us. They just try to shut us down. Like even Angela, isn't she Mexican?
Yeah.
Playing Puerto Rican. I
And
think.
this
yeah.
whole time, I swear to God, I thought she was Puerto until Kevin told me. He's like, "Yo, she's mad." I'm like, "What? She's Mexican."
Nigga, these niggas
Yeah.
all.
You don't know, like Angela's bad.
Have you met Angela?
I have, yeah.
Angela's
Niggas are low Angela. Angela's bad. So. Everybody want to see her dead anyway. Everybody wants to see her dead.
Word,
Poor
word.
girl. She gonna live up to the
I
end.
know, damn.
She was one of the hated, man, until my scene came out with Julio. Yeah, 'cause everybody was hating her.
Yeah, she's one of those characters that I'm like, yo, no matter what she does. Like even 50 Cent, they dropped the hate on him. Like now they're like, oh yeah, I hope you guys team up together. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can do it together. All of a sudden, y'all like this nigga, but y'all didn't like him when he was out of jail, setting him up and shit. Do you have to like block comments sometimes? Or?
I mean, if it gets out of control, You know what I mean? Like I don't take nothing personal. You know what I mean? They're not hating me. I hope they hating the
Right.
character.
Well, have
and
you-
to me, I done my job. If they hating the character, you know what I mean?
Have you been approached in public like all the time?
Dude, the other day I was at the bank. I was at the bank, you know, doing some banking business, and the bank teller was like, "You killed Julio, right?" And she said it low too. I was like, "What you say?" She was like, "You killed Julio, right?" I was like, "I'm like, yo, you know my personal banking information there." I was like, "Yeah, I did." But I said, "Yo, dude."
That's my fear. Like at the bank, like getting popular. And you
Yeah,
get to
she
the
there
bank.
typing up
Nah,
like
it's
how
like-
much you deposited.
Yeah, exactly.
Killer.
Killer. Yo, miss what?
All right, Mr. Paola.
I get that a lot,
Killer
though.
Paola.
I think that's gonna follow you throughout your whole career, son. Because
I
that
hope
scene
not.
was so big. Like I think it was a scene that we was like, no, like everybody was like, because you know the thing with Power that it's a good idea, I guess. I don't know because whatever their marketing tool they're doing, but the fact that now they released the show for like people that have the Stars app,
Yeah.
prior to like it dropping on the real time.
Yeah, it comes out on midnight.
Yeah, it comes out at midnight, and
yeah.
then we're waiting till 9 o'clock, but everybody already seen it, so they're uploading pictures on Instagram
Yeah.
like, yo, Julio dies because
Spoiling
of this nigga, and it's like, yo,
Yeah, I'm actually getting an award for that role, man. It's called the HBCU Award. It's based around like I think it's over 110 historical black colleges in the country, and like thousands and thousands of students voted for me. I don't know how, why, but yeah, they're gonna honor me in February. Outstanding actor in a drama series, so they're gonna fly me
shit.
out.
Oh shit! Here's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it starts. That's it, son. Next thing you know, you got your own movie. Next thing you know, you in Fast and the Furious playing the Jamaican. Nah, these niggas got all their characters.
Yeah, okay. Anything but Dominican.
We're gonna put fake dreadlocks on him like they did Mike Epps. No, this dude, Michael Pfeiffer.
8 Mile. I was just watching that movie yesterday. I said, this nigga really got dressed.
Yo.
Have they made you do anything like that?
Nah, I mean, I played. It may sound crazy, but I played a drag queen transgender once. And it's like once again, there's a lot of stuff that I've done that nobody's gonna see. This is probably one of them. That I'm
like-
glad nobody sees. And the crazy shit
I'm
is,
gonna look for this
the
shit.
crazy shit
You're
is,
like-
I didn't even get paid for this, but I wanted to do it just for the experience, to
Right.
take me out of my natural comfort. So here I am. I'm walking around the city, dude, with Uggs on and tights and a wig and a full makeup. And it's just on my own voluntary. I just wanted to do it for the experience and challenge myself. You know
But
what
you
I
did
mean?
it like you did that without having to act that day?
What do you mean? No. We were shooting scenes.
Oh, I
of
thought you
course.
was just
was-
practicing.
Nah,
I thought you went. No, I thought he practiced
I wouldn't
first.
get dressed up just to walk around like
That's
that.
why I thought he was
That's some Jim
practicing.
Carrey shit.
They made the movie 3 months ago. Yeah, they made the movie 3 months ago. He
But like,
just
are you shooting
walking
today?
around.
Nah, I'm just walking around.
Nah,
like
the
this.
movie finished 3 months ago. I just feel comfortable in this.
You know, have you wore Uggs, nigga? Have you wore Uggs?
But you know, stuff like that. I mean, you just.
And so
be a professional.
you gotta like really start at the bottom, basically, like do
I mean,
things.
for some, you know, for everybody's different, man. But you don't have to necessarily do it. It's just something that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody in their right mind would probably want to do that. But I just, myself as an actor in my craft, I just want to challenge myself and just do that. You know what I mean?
That shit is dope.
A lot of people don't know that, but yeah. There's a picture on my IG. If you look real good, you're gonna see a
Throwback
female.
Thursday.
It's me.
And here I was double tapping her like, who this right here?
It's like, where's her tag? I want to see her comment.
Where her at name though? Yo, y'all gotta chill because let me tell you, somebody showed me the other day. They was like, yo, look at this dude that used to go to high school. And he's a full female now. But I swear to God, like if you look at her or him, whatever is considered, like this is a female. Like and it's like, yo, you out here tricking niggas. Like,
Alex hit up his man like, yo, you seen this shorty? He's like,
nigga, that's a drag queen. That shit's crazy. Man. Have you? Will you ever play like a gay character? I always ask that question.
I mean, actually, I did play a gay character on the show Conviction on ABC. It was short-lived. It only did one season. I think it was last fall it came out. And I played opposite of Manny Montana, who's from Graceland. And we were both in prison together. And then he gets out and starts working for like the Special Investigation Unit. I'm still in jail, and I'm trying to convince him to get out. But there wasn't like any physical interaction other than on the visits. We were holding hands and stuff like that. But I mean, if it calls for it, you know what I mean. If the script is right, I mean, like I said, it's professional, man. I wanted to say no. Like I recently got approached like a few months ago for a short film. They was like, "Do you mind playing a gay guy?" I was like, "I don't really mind." They was like, "Do you mind kissing the dude?" I was like, "Am I getting paid?" They was like, "Nah." I was like, "Nah, forget it."
he's like, nah, fam.
See, that's why another thing in acting, right? Like if you're in a relationship, it's not cheating if it's acting.
Nah. Wifey, you know, a lot of people ask me, I was like, yo, is wifey cool, you know, with everything? I'm like, yeah, like she don't take it personal, you know what I mean?
Even if it's like a makeout scene, like mad passionate water falling down.
I mean, in the film release, there's a few sex scenes going on, you know what I mean? And full nude, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I talked about it with her, and she was just, well, the movie hasn't come out yet, but we'll see. But you know how she really reacts. But
He's like,
so
baby,
far she's like, it's all good, you know.
Before it comes out, I have
That's
something
like,
to tell you.
no, that's like I was watching a Diddy interview, and he said Cassie was in some movie, and they was like, yo, she got to play a sex scene, and he was like, all right, cool. And he's like, yo, but then after like the third scene, I was like, yo, how many sex scenes they got to record? But I was all thinking like, yo, if your wife sees that or something, like your wifey sees that, she'll probably like, you think she'll get a little disturbed?
I don't know. I mean, when I was making out with Jessica on season 4 of Orange, we actually weren't together. She was in a friend's house in Florida. And she said when the makeout scene happened, like everybody in the crib just turned around and looked at her. And she was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I guess they wanted to see her reaction.
That's
but,
the thing.
you know.
Especially like Spanish, they'll look around like,
Nah, you know what? Like, being that we're Dominican, and I met this person, not gonna say their names or anything, but I was there for a fake wedding, you know, to get paperwork done. And the dude had to marry a Dominican chick. Meanwhile, the wifey was in the room. And I swear to God, when the nigga was like, you may kiss the bride, everybody turned like we all turned to the wifey to see her reaction. And I swear to God, her reaction was like, and then like she looked down and it was like, that's it, it's over.
looked everywhere
But them
but
niggas
there,
kissed for a good like 3 seconds. Like, yo, my man, this was just a tap kiss. Like, it just gotta be something like,
we gotta
these
just
for
niggas
pictures,
was there
just for
like,
pictures.
we gotta
It's
make
not
it look real. We gotta make it look real.
how
it's
real could
crazy.
it be? So it's all acting.
Yeah, so when we go to that screening, I'm gonna keep my eye on her. She's probably gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna be like,
Look, I'm gonna let you know something. So. Like, yeah.
Before it starts, this was gonna happen.
This is how.
yeah, like, I'm gonna give her the elbow like it's coming up. Sex scene 1, and then by the time the 4th,
Or
one,
just
I'm
text
gonna
something else like, babe.
like, oh
She had to
shit,
go
what's
watch.
that right there?
What is this right here? Now y'all in Dyker Heights. Are y'all the only like Dominicans, or is she Dominican?
Yeah, she's Dominican too.
Are y'all the only Dominicans in Dyker Heights?
Pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of Asian out there now, man.
It's a beautiful neighborhood.
It is.
quiet.
When I be
It's
driving
quiet.
by there, so I'll be like, yeah, I can't live here.
It is.
It's quiet.
You know how you can't live somewhere because like, you know how loud we are. Look at that party we were in last night.
And I told
You
you, I
think
was
it'll be
like,
acceptable in like that type of neighborhood? Like, nigga,
Yeah,
like
you don't really hear nothing.
I
going
told
on
him, I was
over
like, yo, this is only acceptable in Corona. Like, you take this party outside of Corona, you can't have this shit. Like, all you do is just sit in the living room, listen to loud music, and drink.
do you still pass by Corona every now and then?
there. Not often, man. I was just telling Jay, like, just coming around here, looking around, it's like a lot of memories. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really have no need to come out here unless, you know, of course, we're doing stuff like this. But every time I do come, you know, I'm like, matter of fact, a few months ago, I haven't been to Corona in like over a year, right? And my boy was like, yo, let's go to La Oficina.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So we in Brooklyn, right? He's like, yo, let's go. And I'm like, shit, you know, I'm like, fuck it, why not? I haven't been out there.
Right.
And I get out the car, right? The moment I get out the car, this Mexican dude gets slammed on the hood of my boy's Beamer. And he literally just took it out of the parking lot, a brand new car. But here we are, we parked in front of the bar. We didn't even know Mexican just lands
Like, I
right
don't
on
know.
the hood.
It's like some movie shit. Imagine, like, you. Like,
on
like,
103rd Street. I'm
word.
like, yo, what the?
like, this is.
So we had like 2 drinks and we was out.
Some random Mexicans just fell.
And that's normal for us too.
It's that Mexicans are flying Corona. That's what they just.
It's normal for us. Like
It's
we see a
wild,
Mexican
man.
flying like on top of a hood, we'll be like, yeah, they just.
No, the thing is, they get right back up. Like, nothing happened.
Nah, they
like,
do,
we
they
out.
do. But you know, living in BK now, you ain't used to that shit no more. So I come
Oh, you
out
see
here,
your
I'm like,
neighbor, yeah. Oh, you see your neighbor walking the dog.
What high school did you go to?
Queensville,
Oh,
Queens
you went
Vocational.
Okay.
I didn't even last a full year though. I was out.
Wow,
Did
you
a few months in 9th grade, and I was
that's it.
that was it.
He's like, I got a role to play. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
I was
prepping for
done.
my future role.
I got my GED later on though, but I was done with school, man.
Sounds like you got a little dark history back then, huh? You was a badass.
I got into some trouble, you know what I mean, when I was younger.
You were wait. Going back to Off the Mentals podcast, which I hope you guys have listened to. You were one of the guys on the corner with JC as well. Now that I think
There's
about
a
it.
picture I got when I had my dreads and we was in JC's garage. It was me, him, Shala, Off the Mental. I think my boy Saint was on there too when JC had the spot in the back.
Y'all niggas acting like y'all was in the corner taking care of old ladies crossing the street and
That's
shit.
when everybody was rocking the Vons Queen shirts and all that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Y'all haven't even plugged in where we at today shooting the show. Huh? How
Yeah.
disrespectful are y'all to JC? Yo, JC, this is why you can't deal with people like this, man. They get a little bit of fame because they shooting an actor today and they don't even plug in where we at today. Where are we today, Jonathan?
We at Colorworks. So
What's the
everything
slogan?
Works.
What was that?
I'm trying to think about
You
the
said-
Alphabetto. I'm thinking about
He
the
said we at Colorworks where everything works.
Yeah, shouts to JC, Colorworks Search for having us here today. For
Yo,
sure.
word. Shout out to JC. Son. And we got a private exclusive, but that's exclusive. Only we get access like this. I hope you know this show's gonna be heard by like 20,000 people.
That's what's up, man.
So you probably get like 2 followers tomorrow morning. By the time you hear this shit. Can you take us back to a little bit of the music? Do you like have anything recorded that you're gonna put out, or at least
Do I have anything recorded that I'm gonna put out?
like just leak it, like just put it out?
Nah, I
there.
got stuff on SoundCloud.
Oh, you do have
I
music.
got beats. I did a few joints for Trujillo. I did some for some other dudes when I was still doing my stuff. This was like, I want to say 2007. So I got like 4 or 5 joints on SoundCloud that I did the beats
Right.
for. You know.
Have
Yeah,
you
but
worked
that's-
with anybody from Corona? Or are you
I mean, I
aware
work-
of people in Corona?
I mean, I work with Drew. Who else I work? I mean, me and O, we was in a group when we first started out. It was called 40 Below. And,
Oh yeah, he did mention that. In the,
yeah, me and Biggs from 104. Shouts to Biggs. He was, part of that too. As far as the new guys, nah, I haven't messed. I mean, when I moved out of Corona and I lived in Jersey for a few years, I had a studio out there. It was just pretty much people I knew from Corona were coming out there. I mean, I worked with Banksy. We did like one joint together too. Yeah, he came through. Randy, shouts to Randy. He literally lived across the street from me, man. We grew up together.
Oh, so you're from 102? Is that
102 and 37, right next to the liquor store right there.
You're from there.
Yeah.
There you go. And then, that's where y'all used to chill out that corner?
oh, and that corner was hot.
That corner right there, yeah.
Caliente, nigga.
No, nigga, they were selling hot dogs and shit. They were
Yeah.
lemonade
Actually,
stands.
Pastelitos and lemonade
They were
stands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like in
lemonade stand.
1998, I was actually on house arrest for 8 months, so I couldn't pass the corner. I used to be on the
my
corner and then go
dang.
straight to my
That's
front
crazy.
of my crib.
I feel like
House
now,
arrest in
I feel like
Corona.
we've been talking about his acting career, but let's talk about his history. Like what's that history like, son?
That's my man Lex.
Oh, word. He look like an actor.
He looking all Hollywood.
He walk in like he got
Hollywood.
security
I
behind
got
him.
the Hollywood Versace shades on or something. What up? It's good. Yeah, man.
Damn, so go back to your childhood growing up.
Nah, man. I mean, you get into some trouble, man. You move on from it. When I was younger, we got into some trouble in Corona. It's known history. You know what I mean? But you do what you do, and you learn from it, and you move on. You know what I mean?
Then you become
It
an
worked out
actor.
'cause then you
Then you become an actor and relive everything
the,
you
the
did.
the crazy shit is, I was just saying this in another interview the other day, is like the shit never really affected me until when I was on my way to Toronto to shoot the show. And when I was out there, when I was working on the strain, right? You know Canada got these crazy
Yeah,
laws.
yeah.
If you got a DWI, you ain't getting in
Yeah.
there.
What?
If you
Yeah,
got
you
any
got
kind of
any-
crime,
any
and they
felony,
got,
any-
they'll
yeah.
check. They got access to the system here in the
Yeah.
States, so they check.
Yeah.
And it's like a hit or miss. So the first 2 times I went to work on the strain, they was like, you've been convicted of a crime. I was like, nah. The second time they let me go. When I went for the other show, for conviction, they was like, you've been convicted of a crime? And I had a few drinks in me, because, you fly in first class, you just drink up. And I had a Yankee cap on, I had my tattoo showing, like I wasn't thinking right, you know what I mean? This dude was like, he was like, I said, nah. He's like, let me run your name. And he ran my name, and he's like, you're not allowed in this country with the crime you committed. And I was like, 20 years later, here we are, you know what I'm saying, talking about this crime that's, possibly might stop my employment. You know what I mean? But
Holy shit.
yeah, shouts to them. Like after 3 hours, I convinced them I had all my paperwork. They were like,
You
all
should
right,
have told me. We would have called Drake. Like, yo, we got played with Drake. Let my man in.
OVO, come on now.
yeah, right?
Yo, Drake. Let my man
He
in.
from Corona, he's a
Yeah,
good
but
guy.
that's like the only time, like, that crime really, like, almost affected
I know
me,
people
you
that
what I
got turned around at the border. They
mean?
drove up.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, fam.
They'll send you right back on the plane, too.
Yep.
Like, I heard stories, my boys, they went out there to do a show, and there was like 12 of them. And they was like, raise your hand if you've been committed of a crime. And of course, this one dude was like, all right, come with us. And they put him on the next
Bozo.
flight back. Yeah, exactly.
I would have been like,
And the other 11 that all committed crimes went right back. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, all right, everybody gets in.
Yeah, like the rest of y'all, all right, come on.
Imagine customs was that easy. Like who's got drugs on them.
Well, that's a quick way of picking out, because they ain't got time to run everybody's name. You know what I mean? But when I went out there, it was late night. They had nothing to do. You know, they were like, all right, I got all the time in the world. Let me run this dude.
So you've been all over the world?
Nah, man, I ain't going nowhere, bro. Toronto, DR is where I've been. That's it, man.
Well, you going to the France Festival?
Well, yeah, that's the plan.
There you go. And then you out there gonna make it, because I believe in you.
Appreciate it.
You heard it here first on the Awkd Silence. We believe in you. Though we hate you.
You hate
Just
the
give us like
character.
2
You
more
hate the
seasons.
character. You don't
Yeah, I hate the character. I hate the character.
Yeah.
Give me 2 more seasons. I'll cool down. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Julio was a big part in our life, son. You know what's so funny? That I'm like in a group chat. Yo, when it's Power Day, like when it's
The couch right there, my dude.
when they give power, it's a fucking like everybody. Like group chats, like everybody, like you know what's gonna happen next. I guarantee you, Julio's gonna come back and do the. Nigga, when you kill Julio, it was just
Nah, what messed it up is when those episodes leaked. And then, you know, somebody came to me, they was like, yo, we seen you kill Julio. I was like, what you mean? They was like, they leaked it on Facebook. I was like, what? I was like, oh, man.
Do you guys
No,
watch
no,
it?
not that when Julio got killed, when I got killed. Like, people, you know what I'm saying? People coming up to me like, yo, I seen it on Facebook. I was like, damn. Like, it messes it up for people, you know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest.
I didn't even see the shit. You know what I mean? Other people are seeing it and leaking it on
You guys
on
watch it the
Facebook.
same day we watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all don't see? Y'all don't get like a
Nobody.
a showing?
Like when we were shooting the last scene, when Omari and with Ghost and Tommy killed my character, like Courtney, she had a laptop and she was showing Omari and Ghost and Tommy like the scene when I killed Julio. But that's like I got a little glimpse of it, but that's nobody sees it, man. Until
So
it
you
comes
don't even know
out.
like I could do that better or like I could
Nah,
try
and
again.
you don't know what gets cut. Like that first episode when I appeared on episode 2, they cut stuff out. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't even know, you can't even brag you're gonna be on the show because you don't even know if you're gonna make it.
Yo, I'm about to say mad lines.
Imagine,
and it is like,
it
imagine
happens.
you work on it for like 6 months.
No, it
yo,
happens,
word,
man. They
right?
cut
And all
shit
you
out.
do is like walk in.
Imagine you
Nah,
work
that's
on
like,
it
you
for
know what?
6 months and then out of nowhere,
You know what? That's like when I went to the Maury show, son. The cameraman, I swear to God, he pointed the camera at me like 20 times because we was being mad loud and reckless. Right? They wanted us to cheer for the girls, like, whoa, when the guys come out, boo
They
them.
got you on camera?
My nigga, I swear to God, in one episode, because Maury, they do like 10 things right there, 10 like you are not the fathers, but they get cut into different episodes. They get cut into different episodes,
Right.
so it's not like the same episode where you see. It's like one day on Monday you'll see that girl, like oh yeah, she came out like at 10 o'clock, and then like on Tuesday you'll see the girl that came out at 10:30. But I swear to God, out of like the 2 hours that we was there, all that noise, my voice hoarse and everything, in one of the episodes I see my sneakers like, in the crowd.
And one
I'm
of the
like, yo,
times?
that's me. Like,
Damn, that's crazy.
but then I'm like, yo, I'm telling people like, yo, look out for Maury, yo, watch me, son. I'm about to be famous. Like,
why he has a housewarming party, has a
Yeah,
party.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody like
Everybody.
to watch everybody
Rita
mine.
too.
I'm out
Yeah, he
the
got
hood.
yo, that's
He
it,
calls his
son.
boss. He quits. Like yo,
You got the crackers and cheese on the table there, like, yo, go ahead.
I'm about to be as famous as that girl just for saying, how about that? Like, yo, that's it. Like, yo, watch what I say to Maury. Watch. She gonna watch for it, son. And then they cut that shit out, son. That should get you mad. Like, you practice all your week for that shit.
Yeah.
We
But
have
I mean, with acting, you know, you still get your check though. So.
Yeah, there you go. You
Yeah,
got
no.
I heard from a character that's on Orange is the New Black as well. I got connections out here. Son. Plus, I know a girl that's about to be on that show too. A dude's
she
mom.
might get cut up. You got to chill. Don't be. She might get cut up. She
My
might get
boy,
too
my boy
excited.
from work. My boy from work. Like we're the same age, and his mom is about to be on the show.
Oh, shit.
But she's gonna be part of like the flashback scenes or whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
But
they
anyway,
do it like
but that they say you get paid for line, right?
Say again?
You get paid per line.
Nah. You get
This
paid per
nigga done
day.
lie to me. This nigga done lie to me. He's
Who
like,
told you
yo,
that?
I ain't gonna put him on.
Nah, you get paid by day. Whether you got lines or you don't. The
This
check,
nigga.
check is all the same, bro.
The nigga said that it was like $2,000 a line or a sentence or some shit like that. I was like, nigga, I'll
Probably
be
for the
saying like
day.
100 sentences a day, nigga.
Maybe a day. Depending
You get
on-
paid for a day of flat rate.
Yeah, you get paid a flat rate.
But then what
and
is
then
a
if
day
you go into
considered?
overtime, you know, there's a lot of other things you can.
Right.
Check
So
and
do you
stack
guys
up.
check in like 8 hours or like you? Do you
What do you
guys like? Because you said
Like
like
when you
just
come
15
in,
hours.
yeah, like you said, like 12 to 15 hours. Do you show up like, all right, I'm only working 8 hours in a month?
Nah, you can. If you showing up, do not make any plans to go anywhere. Because there've been a few times where I just had like a quick scene and I'm making plans like, all right, I'm gonna meet you at this time. We're gonna go over here. And next thing you know, it's 12 midnight. I'm still there. Because sometimes production gets caught up and they get backed
Yeah.
up, and you gotta wait around.
So there's no overtime pay.
No, for sure, there's
There is.
overtime. Yeah.
But no, how you moderate it? Like at work, we have a punch clock.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if it's 8 hours per se, like you know, like a
Right.
regular. But they have it's called the golden hours. You start going into. They have overtime and then they have golden hours. So when you get into the golden hours, you're really kicking it.
That sounds like some porn shit. Some porn shit, like like a porn
golden
scene.
BET
hour.
Uncut. BET Uncut. Like yo,
Nah, it's not a golden shower.
everybody go home because we about to hit the golden hours now. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Angela getting naked. Like, we wait for Angela to show up on her scene.
Or-
But
Yeah, man.
yo, Ian, what else? Besides the release, what else you got?
Nah, that's it, man. As far as right now, there's a few things we're trying to work on with my management team, my agency team. But as for right now, we're just focusing on release, man. And like I said, on the way over here, I'm constantly auditioning.
Right.
You know what I mean? That shit never ends, and we'll see where I end up next. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking for you.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm a cheerleader now. All of a sudden, I'm gonna go back and watch Power and be like, yeah, kill Julio.
Now you're gonna
kill
root. Now you're
Julio,
gonna root for
nigga. Yeah, nigga.
Julio.
Then as soon as you get shot in the head, because it's fucking Tommy, right? Wasn't it Tommy that shot you?
Nah, it was Ghost that shot me, and it was because Ghost's daughter got killed. They thought somehow I had some shit to do with that. Had that shit never happened, we would be talking about season 5 right now.
I thought, yo, personally, I think your character should have never died like that. Like, I think you should have kept going and be like a fucking.
I don't honestly. I don't think they had any
hiding and then
intentions. Like, you just don't know because they keep writing. Like,
Right.
initially, I was supposed to be in 4 episodes. Then I guess the first day I was on set, they liked me. They added 2 more episodes, and then they cut me out of 1. And on the first day I was there, I asked Gary Lennon, one of the executive producers. I was like, "Yo, I had him for a quick second. I was like, he's gonna get killed, or like, is he gonna last?" He was like, "No, you're gonna be here. You're gonna be here for a while." So in my mind, I'm like, "Shit, we're going to season 5." And then when I got killed, I met up with Courtney and I talked to her, and she was like, "Look, this is just the way it happened." She was like, "I'm sorry to see you go." I said, "I'm sorry to see me go too."
Shit. Do they have like a goodbye party for characters, or like,
They
it's
don't-
just like you just bounce like, "All right, my nigga." See?
Nah, they have
they have working shit. They're like, yo, here's a go game with like, yo,
it's a gift card.
there's a gift card.
Nah, they have rap parties for every season, so it's not particularly for the people that that go
Right.
away, but for everybody, the crew, everybody involved. So they had every year they have a rap party and stuff like that. So if you're part of that season, you're invited.
So
You
you
know what I
had
mean?
that.
Yeah, they had it at that bowling alley in.
It's gonna be tight. Now, season 5 is gonna be at home watching like motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Like over there right now.
I should have been there. Right now.
I would have done that scene way better, nigga. And then I feel like it overshuns you too because Reina died on this season.
Yeah.
Damn, Julio, you, Reina, man, niggas die, yo. That's what I tell you about
Jukebox
Power.
got killed.
Yeah.
Jukebox
That's
too.
the Spanish dude, the Fed. Sullivan.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Working for Lobos over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he deserved the
He
bullet
had
like
a
2
big
seasons
role,
ago.
too. He was there for a minute.
Yeah, he was there for
He
a while.
deserved
there
the
for a
bullet
minute,
like
yeah.
years ago, my nigga. I was waiting for them to catch this thing.
And in the show, he plays is it Puerto Rican or Dominican? Or what is he? Is he actually
He's a Cuban in real life. I'm assuming he's a Cuban on the show. I don't think if
it's
that's
weird.
been
They don't say
established.
it. Yeah, in the show they don't say.
Nah, they need to stop playing Cuban characters, my nigga. Cause come on now, we're in New York. Like you probably know 2 Cubans.
Word.
When I see-
I mean, if the show was in Miami, I
That's
understand.
the thing that bothers me a little bit. It's like you got a New York show and you bring in actors from LA to play these New York dudes, and they don't got the New York swag.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got plenty of dudes right here.
Right,
Why you going
yeah.
to LA?
Like,
get
yeah,
cast
like you
Alex.
said, I could play a character real quick. I think I could have played Ghost's son better than Ghost's son. 'Cause that nigga's face just bothers me. Like his face just like every expression.
Michael Rainey?
Hey, y'all understand Orange is the New
Yeah,
Black
he's
too?
on Orange too.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a lot of y'all, because the girl too, Angela's sister.
Yeah, she's on Orange
Oh, yeah?
too.
She is?
Angela's
Yeah.
sister.
Tommy's mom, she's on there.
Tommy's mom as well?
Yeah. I don't know if she's recurring on there, but she's been on there.
Okay.
Do y'all all meet up? Like, yeah.
Now, I mean,
Power
we see
comes
each
in.
other. We see like, yo, what up?
Power's in the house. Like, what's up? nigga?
Yeah.
Power versus Orange is the New Black, son. Yo,
Yeah, man.
well, I hope to see you grow. I really
Appreciate
want
it,
you
man.
to.
Appreciate it.
I really want to see that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be this one because the storyline to this one
But
that
you
you
never
just
know.
talked about.
But you never know.
But you never know.
You never know.
But you never
It's
know.
something that definitely people gonna be
You never
talking
know.
about. Good or
Yeah.
bad, you're gonna be
Yeah, you
talking
never
about
know.
it. Just don't watch it with your kids. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of movies you can't watch with you.
Yeah, man.
What was I gonna say? I said tune in to Orange is the New Black. You're on the next season.
We never know, man. I mean, I'm assuming because in season 5 I came back at the last few episodes,
Right.
you know, kind of reconnected
It was
with
doing
Maria.
more flashbacks too with this season.
Yeah.
A lot of some
I didn't.
flashbacks.
Don't tell nobody I ain't finished the season, man. It's too late for that.
They should have got a dude that looks more like you, honestly, when they did the flashback. They did a flashback. I was like, damn, he looks way different.
Oh, they did a flashback
Yeah.
of his flashback.
Yeah, this guy.
They try to give me some hair and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I gotta watch these shows, man. I saw Orange until like season 3.
It's like 3. Then this one coming up is 4. Is it?
Nah, this
Or
one
5.
coming up is
It's
6.
6. Holy shit.
Yeah, they on 6 already. They got renewed till 7 like a few seasons ago, so we'll see.
Does this chick ever get out of jail? The main character?
I don't
I feel like, yo, my man, I
know.
think you're there longer than you're
Yo,
supposed to be.
it's been 6 seasons. Like you said, you did 5 years.
like season. A lot of people know season 5 takes place in 3 days. So that's how. And it, like I was wondering myself because in season 5 the baby ain't much older than when
Right.
she was in season 3.
Yeah.
So this is really taking place within a few months. So we're not even going into years when they shoot Orange. This is taking
Yeah,
place in the
true.
span of months.
True,
So it's
true.
crazy.
True.
I think season 2 was just like a week.
It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that long. It's not like a year.
That's
or
some
later.
shit.
That's why you don't really see the seasons change too much.
I
'cause
just
they
hope that
really,
they don't end the show like they'll fast forward
10 years.
like 10
Nah, I
years
hope
or
not.
5 years. You know, a lot of shows do that. Like Weeds. Weeds got boring after a while. They just fast forward to 20 years later.
that's the same writer,
know?
creator, and
Yeah.
executive producer, Genji.
Yeah, and the thing with her, she like, I feel like she makes people hate the main character because in Weeds, the main character is fucking clumsy.
Yeah.
It's like they
I
win
never seen
and then
Weeds.
they lose hard. Then they have good days and they have extreme bad days. That's how what happens with the character here.
I have an
Rose is
important
black.
question.
Yeah.
How much time do you have on your hands, Jonathan? That you be watching all these shows?
I'll be out
This
here.
nigga knows every show, every season, every character. Like, nah, man.
I'm
I
in
wish I
tune.
had that
I'm in
time.
tune. I'm a podcaster now, B.
Yeah, you gotta be up on that.
be up on it, son. I'm a podcast.
I mean, I be doing my history, but this nigga just be
Alex,
like,
Alex, you know how
when
he
it comes
does?
to,
He try to cramp everything in on the way here.
that's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. I'll have you
Yo,
know.
Instagram,
I'll have you know. I
Facebook,
have to text
Twitter.
these guys like, yo, especially Chris. Chris will sit here and be like, I don't know who this man is. Meanwhile, he watches all these shows, but he'll just be like, you're from where again? Oh! It hits him on the way home and shit. Like, yo, that's the dude from Power.
Damn.
Yo, so you're dropping your mixtape when?
Summer 2018 now.
I just want to plug that in real quick. Yo, well, we appreciate you coming through,
Nah,
man.
I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Nah,
It's all love. It's all love.
Yeah, he is
Sure.
gonna come back as
Yeah,
soon as he
yeah,
gets
yeah.
that role. that
I mean,
breaking
if
role.
you know, every time I want to
We,
promote
we
something,
might be doing this in the south of France. You never
word
know.
up. You might be
When
on
is
the
that,
red
the
carpet of the Cannes. Who knows?
That's the
man?
Sundance Festival.
Nah, Cannes Festival.
The Cannes Festival. Yo, let's go. So, yo, look, you can pay us to be actors, and we'll go with like banners and shit. Like, nah, I only came here for Ian.
I came here for the
I
dude
came
that
for
killed
Ian.
Julio.
Where Ian at? And then, yo, director's gonna be like, yo, this guy got so bad.
Not a bad idea, man.
Yo, Trump did it. Didn't he pay that girl to be like, Trump, I love you. Nigga, you gotta pay actors.
the
Yo, you
hat and
gotta pay
everything.
people.
Yeah, he's like,
Right.
she's gonna just mush you out the crowd.
You gotta pay. Yo, right, Ian, right? Yo, Ian, nigga, I don't know that.
I don't know. They're with you now.
I don't know this man. Yo,
Yeah, man. But thanks again, man. I appreciate it, y'all.
problem.
Where can
Appreciate
they
y'all
find
having
you?
me on here, man. What's that?
where can they find you and follow you and start writing the hate comments?
Ian Paola, IANPAOLA, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, man. Just stay tuned. There's always something coming up. You know what I mean? It's been an amazing journey so far. I've been doing this. I want to say 5 years. Sky's the limit, of course. So we don't, we'll stay
that's
tuned and
great.
see what's coming up next, man. Yeah.
5 years, and it feels like you just beginning.
But it's been a grind of 5 years. You know what I mean? It's not
like
you
for
know.
us watching you, we feel like, oh, this guy just came out of left field. But then
Nah,
it's
I'm
like
sure,
in
I'm sure.
reality, it's like, yo, this dude
Like,
been doing this shit for 5 years.
Nah, I mean, dude, I cleaned apartments and shit like that for free acting lessons. Like it's not a game, man. It's a grind. You know what I mean? And you got to get in where you fit in, and you got to do what you got to do. I just spent 7 hours in an acting class yesterday with Paul Calderon. I don't know if y'all know who he is. He's a famous long time. Dude's been in the movie business for 40 years. He's a Boricua here in New York. A big stable. And I spent 7 hours with him, learning from him yesterday. So the grind always continues. You know what I'm saying? It never ends.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Well, I heard Denzel one time say he still takes acting lessons. I was like, nigga, what the fuck
I
do
wouldn't
you need
believe
to
that,
do?
but I'm probably sure he keeps working on his
Word,
craft.
word.
But I can't see him listening,
Word.
Yeah,
learning from
same,
somebody
yeah.
else. You know what I mean?
Like, yo, that's what I heard. Damn.
Yeah.
You don't keep on. I'll go with you to one of these acting lessons one day.
All right.
I could show you a thing or two. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
appreciate it, man.
The bad
I'm
guy
out
shows
here.
up like, I'm Alexis C. I'm here to teach acting
I be acting
101.
like I'm rich and I'm getting away with it. So
Leave the shades on.
I act like I'm rich. I walk around. People run up to me all the time like, oh my God, you look like Julio. They don't know
Oh,
me
man.
sometimes, son. Well, Ian, it's been a pleasure. I am Alexis C.
Johnny Doe.
Chris, can you please fucking say that louder? The camera audio is off, Chris. It's all right, whatever.
Anyway, yeah. Michaelis Chris.
Ian
Paola.
Paola. Look, I like saying
Paola.
Paola.
If it's from Corona, aka KS.
KS. Yo,
Did
wait,
Did
time out.
Marley
Let's
give
go
you that
back.
name?
Let's go
Word.
back. Let's try it. Where you get that name from?
Oh man.
Don't tell me
Lex,
Marley.
Lex will tell you.
Oh, don't tell me.
Let's take it back. Let's take it back. When you thought the show was over, bonus footage right now.
Nah, KS. Man, KS stands for a lot of things, but it started
Killer
primarily
Streets.
Killer Streets, Killer Spick, Concrete Status,
I knew it.
known statistic. Yeah, no statistic. Yeah, and it was from
kinda complex
from the
and
rapping days and the graffiti days. That's what we was doing out Corona when we was younger,
Right.
running around late at night, just
Fucking up other people's
spreading
walls.
out. Yeah, so and
Vandalizing.
you can't say Ian and Corona. They're gonna be like, who the hell is
They
that? You
were.
say
No,
KS.
I'm saying, like,
They know.
We ain't know. That's why.
Yeah,
But somebody
yeah.
would have said killer statistic. But no, killer stat. I don't know. I knew the first K had to be killer. It could be like kind student. Like, it's like, no, nigga, it's killer. Like something killer. I know it had to be a killer in there.
Yeah,
something.
man.
That's where it gets it from. Who gave you your name?
I don't know, man. I think I came up with that shit on
I'm
my
about to
own.
say, because we got a thing in the hood. Marley gives everybody
Marley
name.
be giving everybody a nickname and shit.
Nah, I already had that when I met Molly, but
Yeah, there you go. That's why you
Well,
saw.
finally.
That's why you saw this right here, the tagging up shit. And you looked around and said, "This shit doo doo."
nah, it is kind of amateur. Though.
This is toy, as they call it back in the day.
Yeah,
We should have a wall like that. You know what? Coming soon when we find our spot, because we're homeless right now. This is us. Where what you said how you had to clean apartments and shit
This
like
is-
that.
this the
I had to
grind
wake. I had to wake up on a Sunday. I don't get up for nobody on a Sunday. I had to get up on a Sunday just to come do this interview.
I appreciate it, man. And listen, Sundays is my day. I'm a football dude. I'm missing my Giants game, so I'm here with y'all, man.
So
we
This
all
is,
got
this is a
cousins.
sacred day for me. This is the only day I get to have a peace of mind, and I'm here.
It's
man.
not like me. So I feel like this is my day to recharge my battery for the next
For real,
week,
for real.
Monday to Friday and shit. But then it's like, yo,
Even though you don't do that.
Word.
it's all right. Work smart,
at least we fake
work
working.
smart, not hard. Y'all just haven't
There you
learned
go.
that shit.
There
So,
you go.
so anyway, let's wrap this shit up because the football game and everything. All right.
Yeah, I gotta check the score too.